I guess they have this kind of lack of gratitude in the first place. Hey there, guys. What's going on, everyone? We're back again with another new episode of the Hustle Factory Podcast Show. So, how's everyone doing today, there, guys? What are you guys up to these days now? And by the way, how was your Halloween last week? Because I know last week was October 31st, so they got that Halloween going on so far. But overall, how was your day so far? So I was just wondering. What you guys been up to and so on. It doesn't really matter what you guys are doing, whether you're a content creator, independent artist. Please just go and comment down below and tell me what you guys been up to. What are your plans so far, especially coming up during the holidays and so on. So if you're someone who hustles and grinding out for their passion, like I said before, just go and comment down below and let's talk about more of that on my socials and also on the comments as well here in YouTube for my podcast. So basically, I just want to introduce myself quickly. My name is John Lim Demons. Once again, I am the host of the House of Factory Podcast Show. Basically, this podcast is all about different varieties, things about entrepreneurship, in life, my rants. I also do interview episodes as well from time to time, and then also one of the new segments that I've recently started, which is some sort of like a review series where I started reviewing different items like the control mirror replacement behind me and also the race energy. I just created those two videos a couple of months ago, and I will go ahead and link them down below as well or somewhere in the card. And maybe some of you guys may be wondering how come I have not been kind of active lately, or perhaps for the most part, I didn't upload an episode a month ago in October. And listen, guys, I'm just gonna be real with you guys for the next few minutes. So here's the thing: the reason why lately I've been kind of inactive on my socials, especially on my podcast content wise or entrepreneurship, is that honestly I've been kind of feeling demotivated lately to create content because I kind of fell on that phase where I started caring way too much on the numbers and so on. And when I say the numbers, I'm talking about like how many subscribers I have on this YouTube channel, how many people listen to my podcast monthly, weekly. Like I said, I started caring way too much now because in my head, I'm kind of thinking that nobody gives a fuck about this podcast. I mean, I'm not the biggest podcast just yet, but I'm working my way into it, And other than that, there's been a lot of things going on with me as well on my personal life, especially on my other work. I do a 9 to 5 job. I work in a grocery store. I stock, But aside from that point, I've also been working on my podcast branding as well. Like I've been kind of working on the website, so that way you guys can start checking out the show notes and so on. And most importantly, guys, I've been thinking about kind of rebranding this podcast. I'm not 100% sure yet. I'm not sure what route I will take on that and so on, and I don't know what direction what's gonna go on. But I feel like I do have a plan that I ultimately want to turn this podcast, into some sort of a hub or a main hub for all the content creators out there who basically has all the same principles as me or any entrepreneurs out there who are grinding out and hustling what they're very passionate about. So if you're watching this and you're a content creator, please comment down below and tell me what you do for your own passion and so on. With that being said, I want to go on and just briefly talk about what we're going to be talking about in today's episode. It's actually going to be another an episode of my motivational rant series. So today I want to talk about the one thing that I guess we got to start doing more often, kind of start doing this less every year. So I would say this is something that they barely do every year and all that. And then also, guys, I just want to go ahead and give a quick disclaimer as well about this podcast. So if you're someone for the first time ever watching or listening to this podcast and ever the first time listening to my podcast and perhaps subbing to this channel, just a warning that everything that I say in this podcast is all my personal opinion and as well as just all straight facts when it comes to life and so on. So there are some things that will trigger you for sure. And for the most part, guys, this is a no filter podcast. That means I do not use filter, whatever. I just say whatever the hell I wanted to. What I'm saying is everything goes, yeah. Then also, guys, in this podcast as well, I've been kind of saying a lot lately that I want to start making this podcast series much shorter and sweet and get on right on to the point. I would like to ask you guys in the comments below, do you guys want me to create more in-depth episodes like this, like maybe more than 30 minutes, maybe an hour or so on? I mean, in the exception of interview episodes and so on, And then also, if you guys notice something different on the layout of this episode, I'm actually recording this using a web-based recording called StreamYard. So this is the first time I've used it. So they got me hooked up with a 30-day free trial with their pro plan. So I gotta say, StreamYard is really pretty good so far, and I've been only recording this for only 5 minutes, and it's really sounding pretty good. So maybe I'm thinking about doing a review of this platform in the near future. Oh man, that's a great idea. All right, so let's get on to it. Oh, and before that, guys, I want to go ahead and kind of start promoting something in this episode, and that's basically what I discovered a few months ago, and it's called Race Energy. So this bad boy right here, Race Energy, it's basically a new type of energy drink in the market. I think they just recently launched, maybe somewhere this year. I'm not 100% sure, but Race Energy, if you're listening to this, just please try to correct me. You guys may ask, what is Race Energy? The shortest way I can say, oh my god, I'm terrible at this, guys. To be honest, this is my first time trying to promote something. But basically, Race Energy is basically a new type of energy drink that it's basically zero everything, zero sugar, zero crash, and everything is natural. It has that refreshing feeling. So anytime you take a sip of this, you feel so refreshed and you don't get that crashing feeling on most of the energy drinks out there that you get these days. And I would say what sets them apart from the other companies is that they have this marketing style limited time only flavor. So I guess every other month they always publish new flavors and so on. So for example, this flavor that I'm holding, they just recently released this a month ago, October, in the month of Halloween. It's called Franken Sour. So by the time I'm recording this and I finished publishing it, they probably already ran out. And from the last time I heard, they're about to release a new flavor this month on November. So make sure to keep an eye on that one, guys. And I'll go ahead and put everything in the below. One last thing, if you guys ever want to give it a try and you guys are getting tired of drinking the same energy drinks out there, especially if they're not giving you the promise that they promise you, go ahead and consider using my code HSPS, and it will save you guys 50% off on all the orders that you guys order on Rep Sports or and especially on Race Energy. I'll go ahead and put all the links below on the description. Now that we got that little commercial out of the way, let's get on to the most important stuff. All right, we know that it's that time of the year again, guys. I get it. It's the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and whoa, as a matter of fact, believe it or not, guys, we are literally months away on hitting 2022. I mean, how crazy is that shit, guys? Consider of all the things that's been going on in this year in 2021. I know it's been kind of bad lately. I get it, but I don't want to talk about why it's bad. But I'm just trying to make a point here. So, the main gist of this rant is plain simple. It's basically that some of us here, we have, or should I say, certain people out there have this annoying mentality that they're only thankful or only happy during the holidays. Basically, what I'm saying is they're just being thankful and practicing gratitude seasonal. I mean, what the hell? And I just gotta say one thing. That is just fucking stupid to think about in the first place. If you guys are liking what you guys are hearing so far, please liking, or should I say, if you guys are seeing as such a massive value in this episode for the first 10 minutes, please go ahead and press that big ass thumbs up video in this episode, please, guys, and go ahead and comment down below what do you guys think of it so far? Because like I said, I myself, I'm not like a 100% entrepreneur yet, but I'm getting in there. I'm working my way in. I like to share my value about entrepreneurship and so on. I realized that 2021, well, it isn't exactly what would you call the greatest year of all time. And I mean, I totally get it, guys. I totally do. And speaking of that, I will get back on that point later on this episode to make a very important point in the end, or maybe somewhere, or even in the middle of the episode. But I'll basically say it, so don't worry. I won't miss that. All right, so now that we got the nature of the rant of this episode, let me go ahead and briefly talk about the reason why they have this mentality in the first place. And I'll tell you right off the bat, there's different reasons out there, but I will just cover the main things. So first and foremost, I believe the main reason why most of them feel this way is because, I guess they have this kind of lack of gratitude in the first place. I'm not so sure why, but I got to tell you right now, with that being said, they're usually not very happy or content with their lives and so on. So I would say, and I'm going to say this right now, they're usually the group of people who are just hating on you because they're very miserable in their lives and so on. So I would say those are usually the group of people who usually does this. It's kind of sad to see that, to be honest, guys, and I'm not even lying. And honestly, these are also the same group of people as well that, they're only thankful seasonal, but maybe once a year and so on. And they don't feel like practicing gratitude or being thankful is an important thing towards their overall happiness. And believe me when I say they are definitely missing out some important shit to their happiness. And I know some of you guys out there, and I know some of you guys may say, "Oh, this podcast is boring." Oh, that's okay, guys. I mean, like I said, I'm trying the best of my ability to create better, high quality content wise. I'm trying not to bore you guys, but that's okay. I got my own haters as well, but so there's somewhere there's, like I said, I'm just waiting for them and so on. But yeah, we're about to basically wrap up this episode by saying one more thing. Is some of you guys in the comments below or somewhere in my timeline on social media might ask or may think about, hey, John, so why the fuck should we practice or start being more thankful in the first place? And why should we even have the nerve to have a gratitude in the first place? Well, here's the thing. Since you're thinking about it and you're about to ask me, I'll just tell you regardless. Because being thankful actually makes you even more positive person in the first place. And it makes you look good, you know? And I would say the most important point is this actually contributes to your overall happiness. Yes, that's right. Your own fucking happiness. Many people fail to miss this so much. You know, they don't realize how important happiness is. So for me to close out this episode, guys, I would like to say some few important things about this episode, why you should be thankful and so on. Here goes. I know that Thanksgiving is an amazing time to pause and, you know, I guess you could say start reflecting upon on what you're very thankful upon. But the real OG truth to this is that this shouldn't be a seasonal thing in the first place, like I mentioned earlier. And the thing is, you should always be thankful, no matter fucking what. No matter how good or bad it is, no matter how fucked up your situation is, no matter how it seems impossible it is, it doesn't fucking matter. That's all there is to it, you know. And you know what, guys? I want you guys to try something with me, guys. And if you're watching this episode right now or listen to it, just check this out. You know, instead of thinking about the things that barely happens to you, and when I say barely happens to you, I meant like the things that never happens to you or some bad stuff, you know. So what I'm saying is perhaps start thinking about the things that you have right now. And you know, just start thinking about all the things that how it affects you, how it overall affects you, positive, negative, whatever it is, doesn't matter. So what I'm saying is it doesn't matter how small or big it is, it doesn't matter how fucked up it is. Just be thankful anyways, you know, whether if it's getting a part-time job on a company that you're on right now, or perhaps maybe you're only having like a less than 1,000 subscribers to your YouTube channel, podcast, like I was saying earlier, on your live streams. I mean, like I said, who the fuck cares? You know, just be thankful, guys. I mean, I just want you guys to know this. We only live once. You only have one life, guys, okay? So don't have this regret, you know? I would rather if you guys always be thankful all the time. And most importantly, please, and I mean please, count your fucking blessings all the time. Every second time of your life, you know? Like I said before, you only live once. And the last thing I wanted to wrap up this episode is this. Remember when I said that 2021 isn't the best time of this year? Well, here's the thing. Just because 2021 isn't the greatest time of this year, that doesn't give you the fucking excuse to be not to be thankful in the first place. That is no excuse at all, no matter what. No matter who you are, no matter what you do, it doesn't fucking matter. That is no excuse, you know? And also, and this is the last thing, this is probably the most important point of this episode. Stop dwelling on the bad shit that's been happening to you lately, and no matter how fucking bad it is, just stop it. Because dwelling upon on the bad things that have been happening to you will not do you any good. It's not gonna make you any happier. Actually, it's just gonna make you even more miserable. If you're not very accountable to your actions, then hey, that's just it. Maybe that's the reason why you're not happy, because you're not being accountable to your actions. And I mean, like I said, regardless of what it is, make sure, guys, just always show some gratitude towards to it. Like I said before, it doesn't matter how big or small it is. It doesn't matter how fucked up it is. Just be always thankful, guys. And that, guys, is the end of another My Motivation Rant series of the Hustle Factory Podcast Show. And just quickly, once again, make sure you guys use code HSPS for 50% off all the orders in Race Energy or Rep Sports. So if you guys ever want to give it a try, just use the code below or somewhere in the comments below. And also, you guys can always connect with me on social medias and so on. I'm pretty much live on Twitter and Instagram, but more likely on Twitter. Oh, and before I forget to tell you guys, I'm officially live now on TikTok at John Lindimas. So basically, I publish some of the content that I put on my podcast on there. So I kind of repurposed it. And if you guys want to listen to this podcast or to somewhere else, you can actually listen to it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and even on Amazon Music. And I'm working my way in on Pandora and other platforms out there. And I would like to say again, thank you very much for watching and tuning into this episode, guys. I mean, like I said, I know I have been kind of demotivated lately, but right now I have to remind myself why I started this podcast in the first place. So regardless of this, regardless of how many followers followers or subscribers I have in this podcast. I am very thankful no matter what. So just remember, guys, just keep pursuing and hustling what you're very passionate about. It doesn't matter how big or small it is, because at the end of the day, the rewards will be fucking sweet. And you know what, guys? John Dimes signing out. Have a great day, guys.